Hello again.
Hi.
This is something that we thought would be pretty interesting. It is to us. Like a weekend review of our trip so far and kind of a comparison of our initial expectations of the trip versus what we think now, a week into our trip. So, I think the first thing that at least I was interested in, was how we'd be perceived as tourists, or even we would be perceived as tourists, just because being half Japanese and looking kind of Asian, or at least kind of Japanese, I wasn't sure how much we would stand out here in Japan. So coming here, it was interesting to see that for the most part we do stand out kind of a lot. Um, just by the way we dress, like I think Joey pointed out very early in the trip, with our hats and our backpacks and our shorts, no one here wears shorts. Everyone wears pants and long sleeve shirts.
Even though it's very humid and can get very hot.
Yeah. So they dress very conservatively and very covered up, and we do not. So I think that is probably what makes us stick out the most, besides the fact we know pretty much zero Japanese, except for, thank you, sorry, excuse me, this one.
Yeah, I'm sure our accents are atrocious, but everyone's very nice and actually very welcoming. So when they realize that we can't speak Japanese, they often will do their limited English, and it's a nice exchange. Their English, their limited English is great. They can understand very well and speak very well. So
Yeah, exactly.
I guess one point that I liked, or don't like, I guess, kind of like and don't like, is that the streets are extremely clean for how many people are around. You'll see trash here and there. Don't get me wrong, there's still trash, it's still a city. But the fact that there's pretty much zero trash cans as you're walking around, you a lot of times find yourself holding your trash for a long time until you find a convenience store, which sometimes is not very long and sometimes can be long, depending on how much you need the convenience store. But it's surprising how little trash there is for how little trash cans there are. That kind of inverse correlation, or kind of what you expect versus what actually is been pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, the only thing more sparse than trash cans are places to sit. Unless you're eating inside a restaurant, there are basically no public benches to sit on. There's nowhere to throw your trash away, and so your feet hurt and you have a fistful of trash that you want to throw away but you can't. You want to sit down but you can't, and sometimes that gets pretty annoying.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There's times where you just kind of are at the stoplight and you like squat and like squat one leg and go on the other to give your legs a rest a little bit. And you kind of do what you can because there's zero places to sit. Yeah. And something else I like about Japan is that no matter what anybody's job is, they take a lot of pride in what they do. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe it's not the greatest job in the world, but even everyone at the convenience stores and everyone even to a parking garage attendant will make sure everyone gets across the road safe and sound whenever a car's coming out, or stops traffic whenever a car's coming out. They always say good morning, good afternoon, always friendly, and always willing to do their job with pride. And I think that's a good feeling. I mean, everyone kind of has their own niche and does a good job, and everything gets done well.
Such a stark contrast to America, to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely eye-opening and very interesting to see.
Yeah, and of course there's the subway lines, which are ridiculously on time. And
oh yeah,
perfected.
Yeah, very prompt. I think we were late once, and it was about 5 minutes on the Shinkansen. But other than that, very prompt. People know that it's prompt and will run for the trains. Everyone queues for everything, even like elevators and stairs. If there's a backup, no one tries to cut in front. No one's in such a hurry that they have to shove you out of the way. There's always some kind of queue or something that will form. It's very orderly, very efficient, very prompt. everything like that in Japan is actually it's pretty cool to see.
And so yeah, that's probably gonna wrap it up. That's our thoughts week 1 so far. We'll follow this video up a week later with kind of our week 2 thoughts and end of the trip discussion on kind of what we liked, what we didn't like, and maybe if we were to come again, what we do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So stick around for that. All right, good night, everyone.
Night.